Our course content concludes with this short presentation on resources available to Catholic music ministers, along with a description of the final project for the course. The primary resource I'd like to focus on within this final presentation are Catholic music publishers. Within the U.S. context, this sphere is dominated by three primary publishers: OCP, Oregon Catholic Press, GIA, and WLP, World Library Publications. Not only do each of these publishers produce a variety of sacred music materials, such as loose-leaf octavo scores, hymnals, and instrumental collections, but each company also provides planning resources through paid subscription. The OCP resource is actually a website instead of a printed document and is called liturgy.com. Through this resource, music ministers or those involved with liturgical planning may access indexes from OCP hymnals and worship materials that are used within that community's worship. It also provides helpful hymnody and psalmody selections based on the readings assigned from the lectionary for that particular Mass. As we shall see with each of these resources, OCP does charge a subscription fee in order to utilize liturgy.com, but it does make some resources available for free as well as through their website. GIA creates and distributes a quarterly journal called GIA Quarterly, a liturgical music journal. Within this journal are articles about best practices within music ministry, along with planning guides for liturgical weeks occurring within the quarter that the resource is published for. Again, this planning guide lists the readings that are assigned for the week and offers hymnody that corresponds nicely with the readings from their printed materials. As with OCP's liturgy.com, this is a subscription-based journal. Finally, WLP also produces a quarterly music planning resource called AIM, Liturgy Resources. This is a similar publication to GIA's quarterly publication and features hymnody selections for each week of the liturgical calendar that falls within that quarter, just as GIA does with their resource. Of course, it stands to reason that these resources only feature suggestions based off of that particular publisher's products, composers, and scores. Therefore, it is prudent to plan a purchase of one of these subscriptions based around the products that are most used within your worship. As mentioned in previous presentations, if you are practicing in a context outside of the U.S., examine the product that you are most often using in worship and see if there are resources available to complement it through services offered online or in print. The secondary resource that I would like to share with you is the National Association for Pastoral Musicians, or NPM. This organization serves as the National Association for Catholic Church Musicians within the United States. While membership within NPM can be expensive for some music ministers and parishes, the resources available within its members-only portal are quite valuable and worth the expense. Here you will not only find planning resources for each week of the liturgical year that spans across a variety of different hymnals and music resources, but there is also access available to master classes and presentations by famous and renowned liturgical composers and musicians that are beneficial for anyone practicing the craft of liturgical music making. So again, while an annual membership to NPM may be costly, the benefits and advantages available to members are indeed quite valuable. I've intentionally saved the most meaningful resource for last, one's larger liturgical community. What I mean by this is the intentional action of connecting with other music ministers and liturgical leaders within your parish, diocese, and larger geographical area. This is invaluable as it gives a sense of what resources and hymnody other ministers are utilizing and also provides foundational relationship building for future collaboration and consultation. Furthermore, this practice encourages the spread of new ideas and best practices within liturgical music making, and that behavior helps all parties involved to grow and develop. For the final project, each student will plan music for a Mass of their choosing. This can be any Mass within the liturgical calendar and within the 3-year cycle. I find that it is easier to plan Sunday Masses as more hymnody has been composed based on the readings for Sundays throughout the year rather than daily celebrations, but the date of the Mass is totally up to you. Please create an outline that includes music for each of the elements listed below. After the outline, please include a 2-paragraph explanation of your selections and how you reached them. As always, do not hesitate to be in contact through the site with any questions. Thank you for your participation in our course. May God continue to bless all of us in our endeavors to create beautiful music to glorify and praise God's holy name while leading in a manner that compels others to join in the song.